If you or someone you love is neurodivergent, this is for you. This is about neuroaffective somatics. Neuroaffective somatics is a framework that combines affective neuroscience, and that is the neuroscience of emotion and nervous system regulation. It combines that with Chinese medicine, the magical mystical Chinese medicine, as well as the formula and principles upon which practitioners of Chinese medicine operate. We're not acupuncturists, but it is an amazing system. And then we add art. And what happens is you get this integrative approach to what it means to have a body, what it means to be in a body, what does it mean to be me, what does it mean to be you. It's a way for all of us who are helping humans to stay evidence-based while responding to and being able to adapt as much as we can to the needs of our students, our clients, our family members, our friends, and ourselves. The virtues of trauma-informed care are the values of neuroaffective somatics. So we're being collaborative, we're partnering, okay? That we're cultivating transparency and trust, that we're using peer support. I feel like this is really important as well as it relates to lived experience, especially with populations who have experiences that I could never understand. Hello. Moving on, of course, safety. This is, for me, a really important aspect of harm reduction. So I speak a lot to harm reduction as it relates to safety and somatics. And then here we have the cultural, historical, and gender issues. This is a really big deal for folks who look like me, okay? For folks who look like me to come into a context and look at our own biases is a really big deal. It can be a really big deal, especially if a human thinks that they've been doing a good job. So we want to bring people into these conversations in a way that is friendly and not so combative, so that folks can genuinely take a look. In the body, from a somatic perspective, Wu Wei, or this effortless action, has to do with being held and holding in the right way, right like a Buddhist right way, not right like right or wrong, right as in moving us towards balance, homeostasis, and experience of agency and sovereignty. So along with virtue, I placed principle at the center of neuroaffective somatics. And the guiding principle is tensegrity, which has to do with just right tension. This is a tensegrity structure. Buckminster Fuller became very popular for labeling these. Affective somatics is rooted in non-dualism. It's rooted in the reality of connection. And so one of the things that tensegrity does as a concept is it lets us look at stability and resilience in structures, in physical form. And lucky for us, it shows up in our bodies as well. It shows up as something called biotensegrity. This is fascia. Fascia it's like a netting. And so in a tensegrity structure, you have two stable points and one that can move. And when you add tissue to it, this is where we get the morphology of our body. This is where we get the energy of this is the tissue of hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. This is gut motility. There is so much that we can relate to experientially through the concept of tensegrity. And we can play with that, the concept of just right tension, to support ourselves if we need to. This is from when I was paralyzed. In 2018 to 2019, I couldn't walk. I was just taught a yoga class here, a power yoga class, okay? I was using the cane as much to hold myself up as I was as a tensegrity structure. So just as a concept, just as an idea, just right tension, and that we can have just right tension around us, in us, and between us. This is Wu Wei. This is the Taoist concept of Wu Wei. I've labeled it teacher here because a lot of what I do is work with other people who guide humans, but this could also be the power dynamic. In Taoism, Wu Wei is effortless action. It's the way things are without us having to effort or impose. Wu Wei is gravity. Wu Wei is the flow of water. Wu Wei is climate change, right? Coming back into balance. I'm encouraging us to lean into these more nuanced concepts because they have greater depth and possibility for use. This is a 12-hour clock of yin and yang in Taoism. Yin is darker, yang is lighter. What this clock shows, though, is it's only like super yin and yang at noon and midnight, high noon and midnight. And then based on the phase of the moon, your midnight is going to be darker or lighter. So this is showing that yin and yang are relative and they're relational. So when we get to a concept like Wu Wei, or this idea of effortless action, it's about experiencing flow and harmony between and among these apparent opposites. What we're really talking about is homeostasis, or the experience of balance, the experience of flow. And by the way, this is what the science discusses. Neuroscience talks about homeostasis, not regulation. Biology talks about homeostasis, not regulation. Regulation is an aspect of homeostasis. Regulation is not homeostasis.